Hello! Welcome back to Eclectic Trains. I am XRCoon42, and I've got another new arrival. This time we've got the Rapido UK LBSC E1 class tank engine. I've always liked Brighton designed engines, so I was really looking forward to this when they first announced it. Oh man, how long ago was it? 3-4 years ago now? Let's get this guy unboxed. Got an instruction manual. I have seen some of the stuff on forums and in other reviews about them not giving complete instructions on how to dismantle it. So I am aware of that. But there's a little bit of prototype history, which I like. There's some instructions on where to put the accessories. Some instructions on disassembling it for DCC fitting and servicing. I've just got the analog version of this. It tells you where everything is inside. There's some DCC stuff that doesn't apply here. The photo of the real engine. We've got some exploded diagram and parts list in case you're missing something. That's for the reveal. I did go for the improved engine green version. Not green, by the way. I've heard a couple of theories onto why it was called that, but I just find it funny. Let's take a look at the accessories. Looks like there's some vacuum pipes. Various pipes of different kinds. There's some, looks like a fire iron. And it looks like there's some screw link couplings in there as well. Yeah, definitely. I like those inclusions. Now let's get this out. Oh no. You look there. The steps on that side are loose in the box. Let's hope there's no more of that. Funny combination of feelings there. I'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, the steps on that side were loose in the box. I'll have to fix that. It's a mark against quality. Alright, there we go. Body and running plate are all plastic, which is a tiny bit disappointing given the price of these. Makes me even more glad I was able to get a bargain on one at Clark Railworks instead of paying the full 140 pounds elsewhere. But yeah. Otherwise feels at least fairly sturdy. Oh man, plastic handrails? Really? I'm not seeing any assembly issues or anything, but we'll get to that more in the detail section. For now, let me get it broken in and I'll be right back. So let's look at some of the details here. First off, these buffers. They are sprung. If I can get the camera to focus here. But the livery application on these buffers is spot on. Buffer beam is all lined out with running number on. The running plate is all lined. If we look at the splasher here, the splasher in the sandbox, there's 3 layers of different colors of lining with the secondary color surrounding, with a printed and fully legible builder's plate there. There we go. There's some valve gear depiction in between the frames. Don't know how well you can see that. The camera's deciding to just not focus. There we are. All the copper piping is beautifully picked out. Those handrails appear to be just plastic. I always thought metal handrails looked better. If we look at the smoke box door, if the lighting is good enough, let's see if we can. There we go. Handrails, smoke box dart, and the hinges are all picked out. The couple of valves under there. This is beautiful. Guard irons under there. Because the side of tanks, again, 3 layers of lining. They've nailed this paint scheme. That Westinghouse pump looks incredible. The Brenner lettering. See if I can get this to illuminate the cab there. Gorgeous cab interior. This engine is advertised with a firebox glow, so we'll show that off later. The number 155 number plate. It's all printed on there. They didn't provide etched ones though, which would have been nice. The stepped toolbox, classic feature of both these and the Terriers. Again, fully lined buffer beam there. With the fully lined buffer housings, that's a good look at that. Guard irons on the back there. Fully lined wheels. Lots of underframe detail with the brake rigging. It all looks very realistic, but if you look at the underside here, you can tell it's all fitted in such a way that the base keeper plate is not very accessible, which is going to make servicing rough with this one. If we look at the top, again, that 3-4 color lining that's so famous on this scheme. I didn't notice it immediately out of the box, but the fit of the dome and the chimney are not exactly perfect. That's gotta be some of the best copper paint for the chimney topper though. That's beautiful. Got safety valves, the whistle, fully glazed windows, water fillers, and some other details. Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. My only real gripes I'd say that I have are with the plastic handrails. Everything else I'd say is spot on. I wish I had metal handrails. There are other cheaper models that have metal handrails, like the P-Class I looked at earlier this year that had metal handrails. But all that aside, it's a beautiful engine. Not a lot of metal on it, sadly. But everything is fitted perfectly straight. The only real quality issue I found is that step, those steps that dropped off in the box. Everything else is fitted perfectly straight and there's no glue marks anywhere. So, like, between the steps and the fit of the dome and the chimney, those are the only quality issues I've found. So let's see how well she runs then. Find some power. Beautifully smooth takeoff there. There's some evidence of a flywheel in there. This has already had its break-in run session, so it's fully run in. I run this pretty slow and it's perfectly smooth. And it can really run at a snail's pace. Check out this crawl. Super close up on double O gauge track here. You look at how slow that moves. Okay, give me a second here. Thought I had it crawling there for a second. There we go. And if we can get it to maintain, there you go. If my camera would focus right when I'm showing this, there we go. Yeah, I don't know how they did it, but they've topped the Hornby P2. And then a perfectly smooth acceleration from there. And there's a shot of that glowing firebox. See? And if we get a look in there, see, it casts a bright glow on the back of the cab. Exactly what I like to see. Let's get running. Now let's get it running. Running at speed. Cut off 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Beautiful flywheel action. Very free rolling mechanism. Beautiful runner. Perfectly smooth at all levels of speed. You could do some serious shunting with this. This is honestly ridiculous. You would never you'd never ever need a model train to run this slowly, but this one can. And this is on analog, folks. See, look at that. That is just amazing. Now I've got some LBSC coaches set up here. These are the Hornby ones, and I've known these to have some drag issues. So if this could hold these, I won't have any issues with the traction. Did that couple? Yes, it did. So my final thoughts on this. Detail would be a 4.5 out of 5. The half mark down is for the plastic handrails and the poor fit of the dome and the chimney that slightly breaks the illusion. At least for me, it does. The performance, 5 out of 5. Cannot fault it. It runs better than my previous best runner, somehow. It's like Hornby went, we made the best runner ever. And then Rapido went, hold my beer. Like the P2 can straight up crawl at a snail's pace perfectly smoothly, and somehow this one can go even slower, just as smooth. It's insane. Calling it anything less than a 5 out of 5 would be a lie. Straight as. The accessory pack gets, I think, a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 just for the fact that it doesn't have crew in it. But everything else you would want is there. All the buffer beam detail is there. Just about anything else you need. The quality, I would have to say, is a 4 out of 5. I'm marking it down half a point for the part that dropped off in the box, and a half a point for the less than serviceable design. Like, with the way that brake rigging is mounted, you're not really going to be able to get in there, and the body removal is also a pain for that. Is also going to be a pain for that reason. And like, I've also seen other people talking about how the instructions don't actually tell you everything you need to do to get the body off, so there's that too. They really need to be better about that. And the value for money, I'm going to call it a 3 out of 5. It's a beautiful model, very highly detailed, runs perfectly. But again, the serviceability is poor, and the entire body shell is plastic. The handrails are plastic, the running plate is plastic. And I really think at this sort of price, you should be getting some metal for your money. Again, I've got cheaper models from other manufacturers that do have the metal handrails at less than this price point. So why Rapido couldn't do it here, I do not know. That's my ratings. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments. This has been XRCoon42 with Eclectic Trains with the Rapido E1 signing off.